Have you ever thought, my life is fine, so why am I so tired? You're getting things done, you're not in a crisis, and yet your body feels heavy and your brain feels foggy. That confusion is often the first clue. Exhaustion isn't only caused by doing too much. It can also come from your stress system running in the background, like an app you never closed. And the tricky part is, it can happen even when your calendar looks normal and your relationships look stable.
Stress isn't just big dramatic events. It's also constant pressure, uncertainty, and the feeling that you always have to stay on top of things. In this video, you'll learn why stress can drain you without obvious warning signs. We'll talk about what's happening in your body, why rest doesn't always fix it, and what actually helps you recover. If you've been blaming yourself for not handling life, this will give you a clearer, calmer explanation. Moving to slide 2. Let's define stress in a useful way. Stress is not just feeling worried. It's your body's whole response to demand. Demand can be physical, like poor sleep. It can be emotional, like conflict. Or it can be mental, like constant decision-making. When your brain detects demand, it shifts into a mobilize resources mode. That means more alertness, more glucose availability, and changes in hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. In the short term, that's helpful. You focus, you perform, you push through. The problem is when that mode becomes your default setting. Then your body spends energy just maintaining readiness. Even on a day that looks easy from the outside, your nervous system may still be scanning for what could go wrong. And that ongoing readiness has a cost. It can steal energy from digestion, deep sleep, and long-term repair, so you can feel exhausted without feeling stressed in the obvious emotional sense. Moving to slide 3. A big reason stress makes you tired is something called allostatic load. That's the wear and tear from constantly adjusting to life. Think of it like keeping your foot slightly on the gas all day. You might not notice it in the moment, but the engine is still burning fuel. Your body keeps adjusting heart rate, muscle tension, breathing patterns, and attention. Over time, those small adjustments add up. Studies link higher chronic stress to fatigue, sleep disruption, and reduced resilience. And here's the part that feels unfair. You can be high functioning while your system is overloaded. You still show up. You still answer messages. You still keep promises. But inside, your body is paying the bill later in the form of exhaustion. This is why nothing is wrong can be the wrong conclusion. Something may be wrong in the sense that your stress response never fully powers down. The goal isn't to eliminate stress. It's to lower the load and increase recovery. Moving to slide 4. Now let's talk about the stress hormones you've heard of, especially cortisol. Cortisol isn't bad. It helps you wake up, regulate blood sugar, and respond to challenges. The issue is rhythm. Your body works best when cortisol rises in the morning and gradually falls at night. Chronic stress can disrupt that pattern. Some people feel wired at night and tired in the morning. Others feel flat all day and then get a second wind late. Stress can also make cortisol spikes more frequent. That can leave you feeling jittery, then drained, like you're running on emergency power. Over time, this can affect sleep quality, appetite signals, and even how restorative your downtime feels. You might lie in bed for 8 hours and still wake up unrefreshed. Not because you're lazy, but because your body didn't fully shift into deep recovery mode. When people say, "I'm tired but I can't relax," that's often a stress hormone rhythm problem. Moving to slide 5. Stress also changes your nervous system balance. You have a sympathetic system which gears you up, and a parasympathetic system which helps you rest and digest. In real life, you need both. The problem is getting stuck in sympathetic dominance. That can look like shallow breathing, tight shoulders, a clenched jaw, and a mind that keeps scanning. Even if you're sitting still, your body can be acting like you're in a hurry, and that state burns energy. It also makes true rest harder, because rest isn't just stopping activity. Rest is a biological shift. If your system doesn't shift, your break becomes low quality. You scroll, you watch something, you lie down, but you don't feel restored. Over time, that can create a frustrating loop. You feel tired, so you do less, but you don't recover, so you feel even more tired. Understanding nervous system state helps you stop blaming your willpower and start focusing on regulation. Moving to slide 6.
One of the most exhausting forms of stress is cognitive load. That's the mental effort of holding too many things in your head. It's the open loops, the don't forget list, the constant switching between tasks. Even if each task is small, the switching is expensive for your brain. Your attention system has to reorient again and again. Add in notifications, background news, and the pressure to respond quickly, and your brain rarely gets a clean finish line. This is why you can have a day with no heavy physical work and still feel wiped out. Your brain has been sprinting in short bursts for hours, and cognitive load often comes with self-pressure. You're not just doing tasks, you're monitoring yourself doing them. Am I behind? Did I mess that up? That internal commentary is stressful. Reducing cognitive load is not about being less ambitious. It's about protecting your mental energy so you can actually enjoy the life that looks fine on paper. Moving to slide 7. Another sneaky driver is emotional stress that doesn't look like drama. It can be people-pleasing, conflict avoidance, or always being the reliable one. If you regularly override your own needs to keep things smooth, your body still registers that as threat and effort. You might smile and say, "It's fine," while your nervous system hears, "I'm not safe to be honest." That mismatch is tiring. There's also anticipatory stress. That's when your mind rehearses future problems. It's not imaginary to your body. Your body reacts as if the problem is happening now. And then there's identity stress, the pressure to be a certain kind of person, productive, calm, grateful, unbothered. When your inner experience doesn't match that image, you spend energy managing it. None of this means you're weak. It means your system is doing a lot of invisible work. Naming these patterns often brings relief because it gives you something real to change. Moving to slide 8. Let's connect stress to sleep, because this is where many people get stuck. Stress can reduce deep sleep and REM sleep, even if total hours look okay. Deep sleep is physical repair. REM supports emotional processing and memory. When stress fragments sleep, you can wake up feeling like you never really shut down. Stress can also make you more sensitive to small disruptions, like light, noise, or a late meal. And if you wake up at 3 a.m. with your mind racing, that's often your stress system trying to solve problems when the world is quiet. Then you start the day already depleted. Caffeine becomes a tool, which can push your system harder, which can make sleep lighter again. That cycle is common. The goal isn't perfect sleep, it's more restorative sleep. That usually comes from lowering arousal before bed, creating predictability, and reducing the sense that nighttime is your only chance to catch up on thinking. Sleep improves when your brain trusts that tomorrow is manageable. Moving to slide 9. So what actually helps in a practical way? Start with the idea of completing the stress cycle. Stress builds activation in your body. You need signals of safety to discharge it. One simple method is downshifting your breathing. Slightly longer exhales can nudge your nervous system toward calm. Another is physical movement that feels finishing, like a walk where you let your shoulders drop, or light strength work that ends with a clear stop. Social safety matters too. A real conversation with someone you trust can reduce threat signals faster than another hour of productive work. Also look at micro-recovery. That means short, intentional pauses during the day, not only at night. Even 2 minutes of quiet can help if it's truly uninterrupted. Finally, reduce cognitive load with external systems. Write things down, close loops, decide what you're not doing. These are not hacks. They're ways of telling your body, we are not in danger, and we don't have to be on alert all the time. Moving to slide 10. Let's make this actionable with a simple reset plan you can try for a week. First, pick one daily shutdown ritual that takes 5 minutes. It can be writing tomorrow's top 3 tasks and one thing you're allowed to ignore. Second, add one non-negotiable recovery block, even if it's only 10 minutes. The rule is no multitasking. Third, choose one boundary that reduces hidden stress. Maybe it's delaying replies, or saying, "Let me check and get back to you." Fourth, support your body's baseline. Consistent wake time, daylight early in the day, and regular meals if you tend to forget to eat when stressed. These basics matter because your nervous system reads them as stability. And last, track one signal, not 10. For example, Rate your afternoon energy from 1 to 10. If it improves, you're recovering. If it doesn't, that's information, not failure. Small changes, done consistently, often beat big resets you can't maintain. Moving to slide 11. One important note. Sometimes exhaustion is a sign to get checked, not just to manage stress better. Persistent fatigue can be linked to sleep disorders, anemia, thyroid issues, depression, anxiety, nutrient deficiencies, or other medical conditions. Stress can interact with those, but it isn't the only possible cause. So if your tiredness is severe, sudden, or paired with symptoms like shortness of breath, chest pain, fainting, or major mood changes, it's smart to talk with a qualified clinician. With that said, many people fall into the middle category. You're not in a medical emergency, but you're running on low battery for months. For that group, understanding stress physiology is empowering. It helps you stop moralizing your energy. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're responding to load, pressure, and incomplete recovery. If you build recovery into your day the way you build tasks into your day, energy often becomes more stable. Not perfect. Moving to slide 12. Let's wrap this up with the key idea. You can look fine and still be under stress. Because stress is about what your body is carrying, not what your life looks like from the outside. Chronic low-grade stress raises allostatic load, disrupts cortisol rhythm, and keeps your nervous system in a ready state. That drains energy and makes rest less effective. The good news is, you don't need a dramatic life change to feel better. You need more completion, more downshifting, and fewer open loops. Start small and stay consistent. If you want to keep learning, I'd love for you to subscribe for more practical explanations like this. And for a quick self-check, leave a comment with your afternoon energy rating, from 1 to 10 on most days. This information is not a substitute for medical advice.